and actually, like I said, they cut taxes and started an economic boom. Now, they cut those taxes with the help of the president because he came to the table and negotiated because they stood firm.
Well, now...
and Bill Clinton wasn't going to... You think he would have negotiated a darn thing unless he had to?
Well, she showed a graph in this little video clip.
Because Democrats can't really do anything without pictures.
This graph was a poll that was taken at the time that asked, where does the fault of the government shutdown lie? And this poll had it 60%, 59% of the people in that poll said that the fault lay with the Republican Congress. Now, that's a pretty, that's one way to bolster your argument there. I mean, my gosh, you got a national poll here. Of course, that national poll came from CNN and USA Today. And if you go back and check similar polls during the time, at say, Gallup, for instance, oddly enough,
the numbers weren't the same.
No, it was pretty closer to half and half. The most of the other polls were what I would think a little bit closer to the truth, in that the American people were saying, it's all y'all's fault. It's you guys that are fighting over this stuff, and we're the ones that's paying for it. So we're pretty mad at both of you guys. Now, she wanted to bolster her argument again by saying that as a result of the government shutting down, that's what lost the presidential election for the Republicans. Because Bill Clinton didn't have to run against Bob Dole. Bill Clinton was running against Congress. See, he was running against the Republican Party in general, because they control the House. And the American people said, no, we're not gonna stand for this. No more Republicans, and that's just not the way it worked out.
No, the Republican Party picked Bob Dole to run for president.
That was what lost the election for him.
Bob Dole, yes, it took my vote away.
It was mine too. It was a crappy candidate.
It was like, what?
It wasn't that Bill Clinton had somehow, the people had seen that, oh, look, he worked with Congress. He whipped them into shape. See, no, that's the narrative that they want to tell. Man, but progressives are great at revisionist history.
When you hear the term narrative associated with progressives, the synonym in that context is lie.
Yeah.
Because when they say narrative, what they mean is the lie that we're wanting you to believe.
Well, and apparently the president even believes this too.
Well, he believes all kinds of stuff.
He's running around today saying things like there's no evidence. There's no widespread evidence that Obamacare is affecting jobs. Look, I don't want to be called a liar. Just let me get this one out of the way. It's our last clip of the evening anyway. Let me get it out of the way. Because, it's so moronic, you got to hear it for yourself.
And I guarantee you, the opponents of the law, they'll have their cameras ready to document anything that doesn't go completely right, and they'll send it to the news folks, and they'll say, look at this thing's not working. But most of the stories you'll hear about how Obamacare just can't work is just not based on facts. Every time they have predicted something not working, it's worked.
I'm going to hit pause for a minute. Every time they predicted something wouldn't work, it worked. Kind of like, anybody remember Cash for Clunkers? Anybody remember the stimulus? The first stimulus? Remember that was going, or the second stimulus. The first one was Bush's, but
the second stimulus.
Yeah, that was supposed to pay for the first stimulus and get us out and get the economic ball rolling.
You know what I remember? $4 a gallon gas.
You remember him that they said, what you're doing with the automobile industry, that's not going to work. And he said, yes, it is going to work. You see how great he was for the automobile. I guess he's right, because the automobile industry, boy, it's really doing well.
Really, just look at Detroit.
Yeah. Gosh, you know what? I bet you that those people at Pontiac are so thankful for what the president did for them. with the Republicans screaming that ain't going to work. I bet those people at Pontiac, from the Pontiac plants, are so glad the president listened to. Wait, he didn't listen to the Republicans when they said it wasn't going to work, did he?
Well, see, I think what happened is most of them people probably starved.
Now I heard today though that the government they're ready to sell the rest of their shares in General Motors or government motors, however else you want to put it. They're finally ready. They got General Motors back on its feet again, and it only took 10 years.
Now, wait just a minute. Wait just a darn minute. Them shares wasn't his to sell, number one. They was mine, buddy. And everybody else
offer us one,
and
did he?
everybody else that pays taxes.
You think we're going to get to see any of the dividends from, or get to see any of the benefit from the sale? You think our taxes will come down a little bit?
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's more of the clip. I just couldn't let that part go. Love how they applaud.
Yeah, they applauded Lennon,
they
too.
said that these rates would come in real high and everybody's premiums would be sky high, and it turns out, lo and behold, actually, the prices came in lower than we expected.
And I guess that's why on the cover of our little socialist newspaper today, or on the front page, they ran a big story about how the rates in Alabama just went through the roof. Just saying.
Lower than I predicted. That's how well competition and choice work. They said this would be a disaster in terms of jobs. There's no widespread evidence that the Affordable Care Act is hurting jobs. Well,
Wait a minute. Wait. What was that? Just say that again.
One of John McCain's former economic advisors admitted just this week, and I'm quoting here, I was expecting to see it. I was looking for it, but it's not there. It's not there. So
What? Oh, one of John McCain's advisors. Oh, well, gosh, golly. Casey, we've been so wrong. You know, all this time that you've not been able to work 40 hours a week anymore,
40? Man, I ain't seen 30.
Well, that's what. Well, either way, I'm just saying, I guess all that time, you could have had it all along because, heck, man, Obamacare's not affecting anybody. It hadn't affected your company. It couldn't have. The president said it didn't. And the numbers come out today, oh, my gosh, man, a record, since Obama's been in office anyway, this is the lowest amount of people claiming unemployment. Hot diggity dog, we're on the rebound. It couldn't possibly be that the rest of the workforce is, that we're down to a bare
ineligible
minimum
anymore because they've been on unemployment forever, and they got dropped off of it because there's no work for them.
And not to mention, the companies, they can't lay off no more, man. They're going to have to start closing the doors. Companies are down to skeleton staffs now. Of course, there's not many new people filing for unemployment
because they can't let anybody else go anymore. But that's not evidence.
It's not evidence.
That's not
man.
Widespread evidence.
No, the fact that there is no more 40-hour work week, that now 30 hours is considered full-time, that's the new norm. Hey, man, that don't have no effect on anybody. I guess the fact that people on Medicare right now, I guess that decrease in benefits, that just never happened. So I guess we can everybody with parents on Medicare that didn't get what they're supposed to, or that their rates went up, I guess we can just go back to these companies and go, hey, President said that this didn't happen, so I want my money. I want some of that money back, and I want this medicine that y'all won't pay for no more.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
These people, they're playing us for fools, y'all.
Yeah, Obama
and you know what? You know what? There's a good portion of this country that deserves to be played for them fools.
Because they are fools.
The fools aren't necessarily the Democrats or even the progressives, man. The fools in this country are the ones that are sitting back going, I hate politics. I don't even want to talk. Don't talk about politics to me. I hate that. Or politics is just so negative. Every time I turn on the television and they're talking politics, it's always, they're just so mean to each other. I just don't want to hear that. I ain't going to vote. Man, my vote don't count. They going to do what they want to do. Don't matter to me. I ain't even going to bother with them people. See, those are the fools.
Yeah.
The fools in this country, the ones that are sitting back going, well, I'm just not going to vote, or I ain't got time to fool with that. I got real things to worry about. Well, you know, if you'd get your butt in that voting booth, some of the real things that you're worrying about right now probably wouldn't be happening. If some of you people had got off your butts and took time out of your self-interested lives, if maybe you could pull your heads out of your own behinds long enough and walk in your voting booth and cast a ballot, you know this country probably wouldn't be in the economic turmoil that it's in right now.
Well, dude,
some of these things wouldn't have happened because people they're so mad about it. They're saying, "Well, how can we let this happen?" You let it happen by not doing anything.
And see, it's not just about voting; it's not participating. Period.
Right.
Because I think we've said it here the last few episodes. You know, at the end of the show, you know, we keep telling people it's not just voting. It's calling your senator and your representative and telling them you know what they're doing.
Yep.
And
tell them, look, I've got your voting record right here in front of me.
Yeah. See, it's not participating that has gotten us where we are now. It's all these people who aren't paying attention, who don't want to pay attention because it's just too hard, you know.
You're just as bad as those that are going, shoot, I'm getting me some of that government money.
Yeah.
I might as well let them support me. You're just as bad as those.
Yep.
In some ways, worse. Because those people at least have the courage of their convictions to be sorry as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you people out there that aren't participating, that just don't have time for that, you're worse because you're too lazy to get involved or you're too scared to get involved.
Or you just can't be bothered. That's the one that gets me right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you just can't be bothered to participate in the running of your country, your county, your city, your
and will
state.
have the audacity to complain.
Yeah, and then go, well, they're just going to do what they want anyway. Yeah, because you're not paying attention to them and you're not letting them know. You're telling them, I'm not paying any attention to what you do.
We're too busy worrying about Honey Boo Boo or Miley Cyrus or some dang blasted Hollywood awards ceremony. We are focusing on all the wrong things. Don't like politics? Suck it up. It's a part of of being an American is participating in your own government.
You know what, man? I don't like politics either.
I don't either. It gives me a case of the red butt, man.
I feel dirty every time I get involved in it. But you know what? And this is going to shock a lot of people. But it's honest dirt. Because all work is honorable. And following politics and following what happens in government, it's work.
Oh, yeah. Frustrating work.
But it's like Ashton Kutcher said, I ain't never had a job that I was better than. And there's not a soul out there that's too darn good to get out there and participate in the political life of the country because politics matter. Elections have consequences.
These are our kids. I mean, this is our kids are depending on us to do the right things here.
Yeah, if you can't be bothered on your own behalf, what about your kids and your neighbors' kids? Come on.
And to not participate is to say, I don't care what happens to my kids or grandkids. And if that rubs you the wrong way, tough titty.
Like my grandmother used to say, you can get glad in the same breeches you got mad.
That's right. I mean, that's just the way it is, man.
Well, look, man. I think we should be winding down about now.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave everybody with just such a sour taste in their mouth. I do have something that should brighten things up a little bit.
Well, I wish you'd bring it out here, man.
Well, see, on Friday, the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Okay.
I thought you said this was going to be something good.
Oh,
man.
it is.
You said
it
climate change. I got the taste in my mouth from saying it.
Well, see, they're about to, present their report on really, they call it climate change now because the